Hi, everyone. Welcome to SBR Sports Picks. His name is Jimmy the Bag. My name is Peter Loshak. This is Loshak in the Bag Show for Monday, June 18th. Brand new week. MLB, WNBA, CFL, of course, and World Cup. Jimmy the Bag. Overall, things are going not too bad for me. I tweeted out plays over in MLB, and I had some ups and downs, but I came out a couple of units positive. And in WNBA, I sacked up. I tweeted out 7 plays, 2 pushes, and 5 wins.
Nice work.
Unreal. Can you believe that? Jimmy the Bag.
Beautiful work.
Yeah, and so today we're going to, what do we have on the agenda today? Of course, we have a small, modest MLB card, which is nice, and then that's all we got. We do have World Cup coming up every Monday and Thursday. Regular viewers will know that we are going to be joined by the Team Bankroll in the afternoon. Is that happening again today?
Of course it is.
They're happy. Okay, that's good. So we're going to talk about all the upcoming week games with Team Bankroll. I'm looking forward to that. We do have we do have a game going on today, England and Tunisia, and we are going to talk about that one, Jim. Sure. I might have a play. I did look into some of these games, Jim. Right?
I hit with Sweden this morning and
very nice.
Tagged you as an official pick
okay.
Plus 125. Feels good.
Yeah.
I also have Belgium minus 1.5, which doesn't feel as good. Mm-hmm. Shout out to Teddy B. Mm-hmm. I remember this very clearly, him saying fade Germany. A bunch of guys in the chat were like, you're crazy to fade Germany. Teddy B took Mexico win or draw plus 350.
Yeah.
Show him some love. You deserve it, Teddy B.
Look at this. Our setup was blocking out my tie, but look how dressed up I am, Jim. Look at this. Look at this tie. Look at this. This is a pink paisley tie right here, but you can't see it in the angle. I don't know why. Look at
Jesus, it goes with camel real nice.
It does. Look at that. I'm looking. Look how sharp I'm looking. Jimmy the Bag.
It goes with camel real nice.
I mean, things are okay. I was thinking about, hey, is Johan back there? Yeah, Johan is back there. I was thinking, do you mind, Jim? I was thinking about this as I was on the way to work.
Sure.
Do you mind if we take because it is Pride Month, as you know. Do you mind if we take just a couple seconds? Because I'm proud of my record. If we have just a 30-second Loshak picks appreciation, 30 seconds.
Sure. What pride is it?
What?
What type of pride is it?
About being alive.
Okay,
right?
It's a live pride.
I don't know. I read that it's Pride Month. And I'm like, I'm proud of my record, right?
See, Pride Month, where I'm from, means it's a celebration of the LBGQT community.
What's that?
I don't know when that is.
No,
but when I hear Pride Month, that's a celebration of people who don't have that have.
Is that like people who take like psychedelic astronauts and they take like ketamine and mushrooms and LSD and all that shit?
You know, that does sound like a fun pride parade. No, but this is about lesbian, gay, and transsexual and all that.
Really?
Yeah, that's what. When I hear pride parade, I mean that's what I think of. Yeah. So
I thought it would just be pride of whatever you are, or whatever you want to be, wherever you're proud of. Is that not true? I'm going to Google this.
If this is a new parade that you're starting,
I don't know.
Just, of
anyway,
all people.
I'm proud of it. I just wanted to take about 30 seconds to show all the records. Look at this, Jimmy the Bag. First, let's throw up the MLB record. Look at this. If you got, we're going to do a couple of rapid fire records right here, if you don't mind. Look at that. 38 units in MLB. Very nice. Then let's throw up the WNBA record. Look at this, Jim. Look at this, Jim. If you got WNBA there, if you got the sample size, you got WNBA? You don't have WNBA? Okay. All right. Okay. Well, I guess that puts the kibosh on that.
Well, you can still hear. We can hear what it is.
Point is, I'm proud of this tie. I'm proud of the camel hair jacket. I'm proud of my records, and things are going okay. I'm up a bunch of units in WNBA, and even in CFL, Jim and I are off to a nice start. 3-0. I am in CFL. Jim hit his first pick in CFL as well. So overall, it's going pretty well, Jim.
It's going pretty well. I did. Have a bad Friday night MLB card when I hit some gorgeous plays. I had that Kansas City first 5 against the Astros at plus 180. I had a bunch of, but then I went down. It really upset hitting that the doubled up on an under and hurt me. So I was thinking that my record was moving in the right direction, but that Friday night hit me hard.
For MLB, yeah, MLB is tough. My only general piece of advice to you, Jim, is consider a little bit more some of these derivatives that I take so often. Second halves, first 5-inning team total overs, team totals, of course. Team total overs, that was a Freudian slip. I rarely take unders, but I do once in a while, and there might be one today. We will talk about that one in the Colorado game. But let's just quickly get to some of these comments, and then we'll start in with the show. What do you think?
Yeah, I'd like to. Belgium just made it 1-0. I've been very uncomfortable with first halves in this World Cup. I know a lot of people who double up, like take a team like Belgium to be in the lead first half.
Yes.
These first halves have been very strange. I only took -1.5 with Belgium, so even though that first half didn't go against me, I'd like to be starting the day 2-0. And also, we had some Mexico. I lost with my Germany bet that we tweeted out, but I have Mexico to move on. I have South Korea to come last. A lot of the future bets that I made in World Cup are looking very, very good. I'm excited about
very nice.
About this,
yes. Okay.
this
Let's shout out some people. First, we'll shout out King Rail. King Rail doing even better in WNBA than I am.
I saw you.
Even
monster
than WNBA than I am, and I'm doing pretty well in WNBA. We'll show that record when it comes when Johan has it. But King Rail nailing WNBA. Shout out to him. Shout out to a Native Queen who gave me more great advice on Twitter. She says just go with your first picks. I made after my whole weekend of having balls and sacking up. After a couple weeks, I punked out, I bitched out, and I took back one of my Twitter plays. I tweeted out Cubs on Sunday. Cubs first five. A fade of Carlos Martinez, right? And then at the last second, I thought that Martinez might have a better start. The two plays I tweeted out wound up winning. So it was I just took back 2 units unnecessarily. And Native Queen tweeted out her usual great words of support and wisdom. Yeah, that was interesting. Carlos Martinez. I thought he was gonna have it because his velocity seems to be fine, and he was just working out the kinks, so I was afraid he was going to have a strong start. And he did have a little bit of a better start, but the Cubs did wind up in that Carlos Martinez game on Saturday, cashing both the team total, first 5 team total over, and the -1 line, and I took him back last minute, just like a punk. Just like a little bitch. I'm not proud of that, Jim.
Did you hedge it with the other side?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
I took I had the Cubs in 2 ways in my initial set of picks, and then last minute I took them back on the other way, and it was just a stupid thing to do. But that's okay. That's okay. Let's see other shout outs. Mally Mal, what's up, fam? Underdog says great colors. Shaq. Lamont Williams says good morning to the best show in the land. I'm on vacation. Yeah, I got me all week. Shout out to Lamont Williams. I need you to hammer this pick with me. England over 2.5 Money in the Bank. We will be talking about that game, Jim.
We will.
And I was thinking about that game. We'll talk about it. So he obviously likes the over in that game, the England game. He's going to hammer it. Okay. I almost want to skip baseball and talk about that one, but
I am concerned about that game. I'm just concerned trusting England, but yes, we'll get into that.
Teddy B, Loshak Peter, I want a huge shout out today. I said fade Germany against Mexico, win or draw plus 350. Is that what the odds were?
Yeah, man.
Win or draw was plus 350?
Yeah, man.
Wow. Win or draw. Holy shit. Yeah, Teddy B. I think there were a few people, or maybe was Teddy B the one who said this is their Super Bowl? Was he the one who had that quote?
Teddy B was all over them.
Man, Teddy B, what a call. Huge shout out to Teddy B for a lot of people were saying that Germany was a team you don't want to fade. I kept on, bringing up to you guys that someone was saying this was Mexico's Super Bowl, and whoever said that, I think it was Teddy B, was right. Great call on that one. Let's see. What else do we have here? What else do we have going on here? Hey. Everything's ready. Oh, everything's ready. What'd you say? MMA? Oh, no, MMA. WNBA. WNBA is all I wanted to show. Okay, yeah, and CFL. All right, okay, no problem, Johan. It doesn't really matter right now. We want to get to the underdog says great colors. Shaq. Let's see. Other comments? Any other comments? Just shout them out.
Comic Ricky, one of the guys from our chat, Great Capper, just finished his run of Bleacher Bums.
Oh, very
nice. He was in the play Bleacher Bums in Chicago. Just finished his run, so he's ready to get back to capping. Do you know that play, Bleacher Bums?
What?
Do you know the play Bleacher Bums?
Sure.
Yeah, so he just rocked it in Chicago. Congratulations on the success and the rap, and let's get back to capping.
All right, Kobe Valentine says, my twin brother is a huge soccer fanatic, and he called Germany playing bad. He said coming into the tourney, they just didn't look good and are missing a big presence in the net. Yes, there's some other teams that are not playing so great coming into the tourney, and we will talk about that. Yeah, we should have seen that one coming. I didn't wind up handicapping that game. I wound up just passing on it, but it seems like anyone who looked into it and knew what they were looking for would have caught Mexico. Tomrino says, I like England on the Asian handicap. Tunisia lost their best player, replacing him with foreigners. Tunisia is an up-tempo team. England that plays aggressively. England should be able to score. Interesting. So that's another opinion saying that they're liking an up-tempo game in the England game. All right, we will talk about that one. Let's see. Coco Bongo says, does Pete have a court case later today? Is that how I look? Yeah, I guess I do. I thought that people dressed kind of down. I think they don't try to look hip for their court cases, do they?
That's a good question. That's a good question. I don't.
Let's see. I'm looking for this. Looking for other comments. Anything else you're seeing, Jim?
No, I'm ready to get into this baseball card.
All right, let's get into this baseball card. This tie is tight as hell. I'm going to take this shit off.
Sure,
this is not easy to wear. I thought I looked cool, but the angle of this shot is not even showing it. So I'm just gonna pull it. And maybe I'm gonna pull it down a little bit. I'll try to make an on the fly adjustment to my look here. All right, MLB. We got a modest card here. We've already shown the official record. People asking about Pivetta and Mikolas. That's an interesting game. Obviously, this guy Mikolas for St. Louis. He's turning into a machine, not just an impressive starter.
Hasn't looked quite as dominant in the last couple starts, but yeah, Cardinals 9-4 in the starts.
Yeah, and then we got the Yankees game with Sonny Gray going. I'm almost definitely going to be taking the second half on that one. Dylan Covey, White Sox as a massive underdog with Covey pitching great. That's an interesting one. What else is going on? It is Bartolo Colon Day. We'll talk about that. I'm already seeing a big line move in favor of Texas, which surprises me. I actually bet KC on the overnight line at minus 107. I know they're terrible, but Texas isn't that great shakes either. And then, of course, we got the Mets off of 2 nice wins. I have a feeling, I don't know this for a fact, I passed on their last 2 games just because my brain gave out. But I have a feeling that a bunch of people who are followers of the show are probably fading the Mets in those games and got burned. I have a feeling.
I didn't make any bets on the weekend other than I did lose to Alex, the Romanian ping pong champion, who we will have later on this show. So I lost $100 there. And so when we all went to the casino, I was like, watch me get this back. I'm going to take Corbin and the Diamondbacks. It was not my best night, but it's just half a unit. So everything's going to be fine.
It was just a little bit too obvious. All right, I guess let's start with the Yankees game. Let's just get that out of the way. Definitely, I'm going to take Yankees on the second half. Let's see what that line is. Gray against Fede. Gray is obviously very hittable, but he has been a lot better on the road. So I'm not exactly sure what to expect from the starters here, but once again, I think the Yankees are going to be a value play on the second half. Let me just quote a line right now. Yankees on the second half. What do you have to say about that game, Jim?
First off, shout out to Gate Pass Keys. Says, hey, boys, been 6 weeks stuck in the oil patch in Alberta.
Wow.
And got some cash flow together. He's ready to make some moves. So nice to have you back, Gate Pass Key. We missed you, pal. Are you not making a move on the game that's going to be continuing?
Wow. King Rail said, laughing my ass off. My wife heard y'all say Asian handicap. She was about to flip out because she's from Laos. I had to explain what it is. Yeah, Asian handicap sounds racist as hell in 2018. It happens that it's not. But that does seem like a career-ending phrase to say right there. You know what I'm saying, Jim?
Yeah, it does. It does. But
Asian handicap. No, that's not what it sounds like it means. It is interesting though. It's actually a way of betting a quarter goal in soccer, which means that is confusing to some people. It means that it's whenever you see a half and one goal lined up next to each other, it means that you lose half your stake if the half bet pushes, or win half your stake if the other.
And some of these books have European handicaps.
Yes,
and that's much different, right? You have -1 in the European handicap and you win by a goal, you lose that bet.
No, but Europeans have the power, so that can't be considered to be a racist statement.
I'm not saying racist. I'm just saying it confuses gamblers who don't understand the difference between the Asian handicap and the European handicap.
Okay, so Jimmy the Bag, let's talk about the Yankees. I'm going to take the Yankees second half -125. No brainer play right there. Yankees second half -125. No brainer play right there. What do you think about this game? Pass for you, Jim?
And you're not making a move on the continuation game.
Can you bet that? I think that. I'm not going to. No. I'm gonna just ignore that for now. Obviously it does matter who pitches and who winds up coming in relief. But I'm just gonna take the Yankees second half -125.
Okay, on the second, okay.
Yeah.
The 3-3 game is interesting. Bryce Harper opens up the game in the bottom of the 6th. He is in a huge slump. Now batting .163 in June, 4 walks, 20 strikeouts. Washington just completed a 5-game trip through the American League parks. Man, seeing them get swept by Toronto was shocking. This weekend, it seemed like volatility was nuts. I was very surprised. Nationals went 1-4 on that trip, failing to score in 3 of their 5 games before getting 13 hits and still losing. Yankees lost yesterday too, but have won 13 of 17. New York now leads the majors in runs per game, homers per game, slugging percentage, OPS. Gray versus Fede, I don't feel comfortable here. I don't like Sonny Gray, but I think Fedde does not look good. I know he's a highly thought of prospect, but he's not looked good. 0-1, 5.91 ERA, 1.31 WHIP. I know it's only 10 2/3, but he just doesn't look strong. Gave up 4 runs, 6 hits, and 5 innings in a no decision last week at Yankee Stadium. They're going to see him again. I'm leaning towards the Yankees here, but I'm not sure if I'm going to make a move until the late show.
Yeah, I agree with you. I was thinking that the first half over might be worth a shot. I'm definitely going to be on the second half minus 125. That's the Yankees. Let's see. The first half over, is 5. I mean, Gray can be good. He's been better on the road, but it does feel like both these starting pitchers are vulnerable. So I'm definitely leaning Yankees -1, leaning first 5 innings over at 5. But I'm definitely going to take the Yankees on the second half to start. All right, let's
I like that the line movements moved towards the Nationals. I find that at -130s, I didn't find it very appealing. But now seeing that I can get a -121 from our friends at UWager, I'm going to make that move.
Really?
I'm going to take the Yankees here.
You want it on the money line, huh?
Yeah.
All right. Best line we can give you. Well, actually, at the Greek, it's -120. How about that?
Love it.
Yanks -120 at the Greek on the money line. Jim's making that an official pick. I would be leaning, if anything, the Yanks -1 here. It is kind of interesting that the line has moved in Washington's favor. I wonder why that is. About a 10-cent move.
Yeah, surprise. I was curious to see where this line movement would go. I agree with you guys that Sonny Gray is a little bit better on the road. Still a tough guy to back. I just think that if you have a lineup that sees these pitchers again in the second week, I think Fedde is the one who's going to get touched more than Sonny Gray.
There we go. Now that's a look. How about that, Jim? Sleeves rolled up, sleeve loosened.
There you
this
go.
Is a nice pink paisley tie. There you go. That's a nice look. That's a hip look right there. Okay, a little bit stiff to start the show. Things are a little bit slow, and that's okay. It's the first show of the week here.
Andrew Jameson says, Jimmy, I have Gray in my fantasy league. Pound him, bro. He'll do it. So here's someone who's been watching Sonny Gray very closely.
Yeah.
A lot of guys thinking that the over is too easy.
The over. Yeah, I mean, I definitely think that if the over hits, again, I don't really want to fade the Yankees bullpen here. I'd be liking the first 5 innings over more for sure. All right, let's move on. Let's try to keep a brisk pace. Jimmy the Bag, what's caught your eye from this card?
These dogs have caught my eye in a big, big way. The White Sox and Rays, looking at this line, I can't not take it. I find these lines so appealing. And I haven't bet them yet. I haven't made any bets yet. I wanted to come in and talk about the games. Let's start with White Sox Indians. Covey looks really good. Yes, Bauer does too, but you're going to give me this giant dog line. How do I not take it? White Sox have lost 4 straight. Pitching matchup Monday, identical to last Wednesday. White Sox won that game 3-2. Bauer pitched 7 2/3, 3 runs, 4 hits, 12 strikeouts, 2 walks. Covey pitched 7 innings, 2 runs, 10 hits, 5 strikeouts, no walks. Covey's just pitching well. 2.29 ERA, 1.30 WHIP. In 3 starts in June, Covey's 2-0 with a 1.00 ERA. Bauer 5-5, 2.69 ERA, 1.12 WHIP. Struck out 10 or more batters in 4 consecutive starts. He is only the 3rd Indian in the history of the franchise to do that. In 15 career appearances against the White Sox, Bauer 6-3, 3.55 ERA. The Indians have a much better lineup, but I just find this too appealing to pass up. I don't see how I wouldn't take the White Sox here on this giant line.
Yeah, to my eye, first glance, the obvious plays were first 5 innings under, maybe some first 5 innings team total unders, and the White Sox here. Interesting though, the market has moved significantly in Cleveland's favor. A 40-cent move, which is a little less of a big deal in this range than in the -100s, but it's still a big deal. -225 at Pinnacle. Now it's all the way up to -268 at Pinnacle.
It's wild. Also, Anthony L. talking about the College World Series says bet Washington at +280 today. Santa Cox says I like Bauer today. I get it.
Yeah,
I get it. If this is a pick'em, of course, sure, take Bauer.
Sure.
But if you're going to give me this giant 260, I have to take it. I find it just too appealing. I just find it too incredibly appealing.
And the first 5 innings, the total, you would expect with these starters, maybe like a 4, 4.5, and even Bet Online and Pinnacle have 5s, highly juiced to the under. But still, the first 5 innings total is not nearly as low as I thought it would be. And I guess the market is expecting Covey to get touched a little bit here because it's a relatively high total, and the line is moving in Cleveland's favor. So I guess the market is saying that they expect Covey to get touched a little bit. Do we agree with that?
I think that the younger pitchers are more susceptible when they see a lineup again a week later, and we just spoke about that in the Yankees game. But I am going to take the White Sox here.
Okay.
I can't pass this up. I'm going to take both the White Sox and the Rays. If one of them hit, it's glorious.
All right, so you want just the money line, right?
Yes.
All right, the best line right now would be plus 243 at Pinnacle. White Sox plus 243 at Pinnacle. And you know what? I did bet the White Sox. The line is moving in Cleveland's favor. Not exactly sure why that exactly would be, but I'm going to take the White Sox as well. I'm going to take them +1, though. So I'm going to take them +1. The money line is plus 243.
I see, don't mean to interrupt, but I see some bigger lines here. I see 247 at the Greek.
247 at the Greek.
I see, and that's gone down. You're right. 248 at Pinnacle.
248 at Pinnacle. I'm seeing 243 at Pinnacle. Could this possibly be that we're seeing here?
Did you refresh it? Because when you refresh it,
wow, I'll be damned. Look at that. Now I just refreshed it, but look at this. I'm still not seeing it. But wait a minute. Did you refresh it? Refresh it.
See, that's how it refresh. I move back and move over.
Is that how it refreshes?
Yeah, that's how it refreshes.
Click refresh the page. Click refresh.
Sure, but that just takes a little longer than the other refresh.
I understand. I feel you. All right, see, there you go. Now down to 243. See?
244 Heritage.
Yeah, 240, yeah. All right, we'll give you 244 at Heritage. We'll give you the 244 line. We're going to get That's good. Jim fighting for every single cent that he can get. Absolutely. And I will take the White Sox +1. That will be a plus 244 at Heritage on the money line. And the run line will be plus 130 at UWager and a few other places. So I'm taking the White Sox +1. That'll wind up being, like a plus 180, plus 190 type line. And Jim's going to take the White Sox to win outright at plus 244. Definitely an interesting line and some definitely interesting line moves. Obviously, the market not caring at all about Covey's awesomeness recently. Holy shit. The White Sox on the alternative run line is 525 at Bet365. Jesus.
I find that very appealing, no doubt about it, but I find 245 big enough as well. If they're to win by a run. See, I also feel if the White Sox are down a run moving into the sixth inning or so, I'd be confident that we can get back into this. The Indians bullpen is so bad. They picked up a guy in June who's helped them with like a 1.29 ERA, but they're still very susceptible in their bullpen.
Very, very interesting game. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take the first 5 under. I'm going to take the first 5 under. Cleveland first 5 innings under, and let me see what I want to do here. And I'm going to take the I'm going to take the 5. I'm going to take it under 5 minus 148. Under 5 minus 148. I could have under 4.5 minus 105. It's probably not worth that extra 43 cents for the half run, but I'm going to take it at 148 anyway at Pinnacle. I am expecting relatively low volatility here. I guess with Covey, you're expecting high volatility. He's probably going to continue to have great starts, except when he's off, he'll get blown up.
He just seems to be in a rhythm right now. He seems to be a completely different pitcher from last year.
Yeah.
If there's anybody who I don't trust character-wise, it's the other pitcher. It's Bauer. I'm very comfortable with these giant plus lines.
Yeah, very interesting stuff here. All right, Jim, what else do you want to talk about?
Well, I would like to go into another giant plus line. We know
sorry. So just a great comment from Tom Marino. Tomer says, this will be Covey's 3rd time seeing Cleveland, and he's horrible against lefties. I think Cleveland hits him. There you go.
Sure. And that's why I'm getting plus 245. I think this is a letdown spot for the Astros. Yes, they just won 10 straight on the road. Incredible. 11 straight overall. We know what happens when you're on the road and you come back to your families or come back to whatever bills or whatever bullshit you have to deal with at home. Yes, I don't like taking the Rays on a 3rd consecutive bullpen day, but this is a giant line that I'm not going to pass up. I'm not going to pass it up with the White Sox. I'm not going to pass it up here. Stanek has looked good in his brief opportunities in the show. 17 2/3, 22 Ks, a high walk total. So he's got 9 walks in 17 2/3, yet he's got a 1.02 whip. They're just not hitting him. Cole has looked worse in his last 2 starts. I know he's having an incredible season, but 3.89 ERA in his previous 6 starts. He's allowed 8 home runs in those 6 starts. He just allowed a season-high 4 runs in his last start, 6 innings, 6 strikeouts. This is just Young Vaughn saying Astros too hot. Everybody's saying Astros hot. I get it. I get it, but they're coming back home, have to deal with some bullshit. I see this as a letdown spot.
All right, the best line we can give you right now, line shopping, plus 250 at a few places, the Greek and a few others. Tampa Bay, plus 250. That line did not have an overnight line, so I did not look into that one. And Houston is now getting into that position where, for a while I was cashing with Houston's, right? And then in their last series where they were just starting to get up into the minus 250s on the road and minus 210 on the second half lines. I did have overs in the KC games, which I didn't have the balls to tweet out. Those were leans of mine. But Houston is getting the market is really catching up with this team now, right? You know what I'm saying? I mean,
but Adam Lopez says Astros run line if it ain't broke. I get it. Everybody's been cashing on this Astros run line. I get it. Kevin K says, who's actually pitching for Rizzo? I mean, we know it's a difficult thing. It's a difficult thing to prepare for. As much as we don't know who they're going to use on the third bullpen day, the Astros clearly don't know who they're going to use. It's a difficult thing to prepare for.
Anthony L says, I'll wait till the fifth inning and live bet Astros on the spread. Yeah, it does seem like actually both Houston and now Tampa Bay are like great candidates for live betting now. Gobi Valentine likes Houston minus 2.5. All right, let me see. I'm just I'm starting to think maybe we made a mistake here taking the White Sox. I'm starting to think we got suckered in by that huge line. What do you think, Jim? This is like one of those freaking MMA underdogs where it's like they're probably going to lose, but you think you're getting a little bit of value. You think we made the right decision there? I
think both the Rays and the White Sox at this huge number is just if one of them hits, you're rolling. I feel like on a Monday after a weekend, especially with the Astros coming off that incredible road trip, it's not easy. It's a letdown spot coming home after a long trip. Yeah, interesting.
Okay, Tom Marino says that Tom Marino thinks that Covey might get hit. I'm just looking for some other comments here. Gate Passkey says, I'll be back for the late show. Great to see you punks again. Got that oil patch cash. They pay their janitors $5,000 a month clear. LOL. Shout out to Gate Passkey getting that cash, $5,000 a month, more than I got. It's a hell of a lot more than I got. All right, Jim, what else do you want to discuss here?
Anthony L saying taking a Major League Baseball team at plus 250 is never a mistake.
Right. I mean that's similar to saying like taking like
Belgium just scored.
Right. Nice.
Oh man, I'm gonna get a nice start to the day.
This really reminds me of those huge MMA underdogs that are just too big of an underdog, and you're betting on something where it's like you think they have a 75% chance of losing, but the odds are just a little bit too high, and there is some value. That's the toughest thing to do in sports betting, to take a big underdog that you think is a little bit too big of an underdog than they should be. You know what I'm saying? Because you're making a bet that you, according to your own handicapping, you expect is very likely to lose, but you're betting it because you think there's just a little bit of value there. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
All right, Jim, what else do you want to discuss here?
I want to discuss this continuing fade of Trevor Williams. I haven't taken a good look at the line movement yet this morning, but I just Trevor Williams just looks susceptible right now. And Chacin looks as good as I've ever seen him look.
Sure.
Game time 89 Fahrenheit, wind blowing out over left center at a decent rate. Pirates coming off a series win. First series win after losing 8 straight. Chacin 6-1, 3.32 ERA, 1.24 whip. He looks very good. He's got high numbers against Pittsburgh, but he just seems like a different pitcher right now. 6-0 with a 2.66 ERA in his past 12 starts. Has not lost a decision in 12 starts. Williams 5-4, 4.38 ERA, 1.30 whip, but 0-2 with an 8.57 ERA in his past 5 starts, and he throws these, in 89, 88, 90 miles an hour. It just, he looks like he's going to get touched at all times, and I'm going to stay with this. I'm going to take the Brewers here. I just don't believe in Trevor Williams, and I think that the Pirates, yes, they did win a series, but I don't trust them.
I feel the same way. I'm going to take Milwaukee on the second half. It's definitely concerning, though, that I'm seeing a 15-cent line move in favor of Pittsburgh. Concerning.
Yeah, sure. I get it. Anthony L says Williams, huge regression candidate. Pirates offense, huge regression numbers. Without Bell hitting in the middle of this Pirates lineup, it's not the lineup that they expected to have this year. He's got 4 home runs. He's got Jordy Mercer has a way higher OPS than him. Kevin K says Chacin being crafty on the mound makes up for his middle of the road velocity. Only concerns them on the road. King Rail says Brewers, baby. I get it.
If Anthony L says Williams, huge regression candidate, to me that means that he's going to be better because he's been terrible recently, hasn't he?
Yeah, but I think he looked so good in the beginning of the year that it didn't feel right. He's a sneaky young pitcher.
Yeah.
But no, I'm comfortable taking Brewers on the money line here.
Isaiah says, Pete, will you and Andreas be doing a video for UFC Fight Night this weekend? Yes, we absolutely will. I was thinking that a no-brainer play here would be, Milwaukee first 5 innings team total over, but the line is moving in Pittsburgh's favor. Now, why would that be?
I think it's a correction.
Right.
Minus 140 should not have been the line.
Sean Thompson says Pitt. Line says Pitt, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Paco Healy, love the Brew Crew today.
But it's like Nostra said, it's a correction. The Pitt should not have been plus 130. So the line movement makes sense to me, and it's now much more appealing than it was when it opened up.
Tom Marino says Chassin has been solid, but he hasn't been able to put good starts together of late. Yes, and I also have Chassin circled as a guy who has high volatility. So if I was going to take either of these sides, I would take him on the run line. Sean Thompson says Chassin coming back down to earth.
Rob Portwando's on the Brewers run line here. Kobe Valentine says 10-1 Chassin's last 11 starts on grass.
Nostratota just laughing at this one. Chassin a road fave, LOL. Nostratota doesn't even have a comment. He's just laughing at it.
I hear it.
Yeah. All right, I'm taking the Brewers on the second half minus 125, and you're taking what?
On the money line.
On the money line. Jim's going to take the Brewers money line. The line has gone down. Right now, we can give you at the Greek minus 120. Jim's going to take Milwaukee minus 120. I'm thinking about taking shots with like the first 5 innings over, which would be 4.5 or 5. I'm thinking Williams. I'm thinking both of these guys could get hit. And I'm on Milwaukee on the second half, and I'm thinking about taking the first 5 innings team total overs on both these teams as well, which are just 2s. But I'm going to hold off on that one for now. We are going to be back at 6 o'clock Eastern time. We do the show twice a day, which is such a nice thing because we get to think about things for a few hours. We get to look at line moves that come in. We get to reconvene at 6 o'clock Eastern time where everyone gives their opinions on other games.
Slytech says Chassin has added a splitter, which he's never used, and it's been very good. It has, and now he doesn't need his changeup. It's completely changed him this year. Now, I don't know if, usually MLB hitters will figure that out, that he's not using his changeup is nearly as much, and he's using that splitter instead, but it's changed.
Chase Fox says King Rail better get one of those janitor jobs. I'd like to have one of those janitor jobs in the oil patch. Why don't we get those jobs and work out a deal with like whoever our boss is that we can do this show twice a week or twice a day and then go back to the oil patch and have 2 jobs, Jim?
Yeah, Chase Fox is teasing King Rail because he said I lost $100 on WWE
I know.
last night.
That's not it. Yes. But I'm just saying that that's not. We should do that, Jim.
You know what? I'm pretty good here.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm pretty good here. I've spent enough time in northern Alberta.
What do they pay you here? You get paid more than me?
No, of course
I think
not.
you probably do. That's okay.
Not.
You deserve it. I'm not saying you should get paid less, but I should get paid more.
You
is what
should.
I'm saying
You
here,
are-
Jim.
you are the legend,
Motherfucker.
Loshak.
All right, let's go. Let's keep moving on, Jimmy the Bag.
Yes, I find Kennedy very appealing in this Royals-Rangers game. And I hear what Sean Thompson's saying. Bunch of sucker lines today, guys. Be careful.
Yeah, it does feel that way. It feels like there's a bunch of lines that seem either obvious, no-brainer-ish, or sucker lines. One of those would be the Yankees as a road favorite. One of those would be Milwaukee as a road favorite. One of those would be White Sox as a massive underdog. He might be right. These might be sucker-ass lines.
This Bartolo Colon-Kennedy game is very interesting. Winds blowing out pretty strong. Royals, lost 12 of 13, worst home record in the league. But Cologne just does not look good right now. 1-3, 9.51 ERA, past 5 starts. Opponents are hitting .336 against him with a .710 slugging percentage in his past 5 starts. His ERA has gone from 2.82 to 4.94. Opponents' batting average climbed from 212 to 258 in that stretch. He's already gone up against these Royals. May 26th, allowed 3 runs, 5 hits, and 7 innings. 5.53 ERA in 15 games in Kansas City. Has lost his last 4 starts at Kauffman Stadium. I mean, it just seems like he just seems so susceptible. He hasn't won in Kauffman Stadium since 2009. Kennedy has 1 win in his last 27 starts at home. Should have won his last one, pitched 8 scoreless. Kennedy's 0-3, 4.40 ERA in 7 career starts against Texas. He looked good enough in May 26th in Arlington, allowing 2 runs in 5 innings, winless in his last 12 starts. But I just feel like that's the spot I'd much rather have. I'd much rather have Kennedy and the Royals at home than Bartolo Colon and the Rangers. Although, obviously, I like the lineup the Rangers have better than the Royals lineup. But the Royals still, they're a different, they ticky-tack hits, right? 242 with a 677 OPS. That's terrible. Rangers are 231 with a 706 OPS. It's a
lot of sucker lines today, Jimmy the Bag. I think they might have suckered me in because I'm feeling the same way. I bet Casey on the overnight line. I think it got minus 107, and now they're a dog.
Yeah.
I got suckered. I got suckered on that one. I took the White Sox on the overnight line. I might have gotten suckered on that one. I took the Yankees on the overnight line, although small. I was mostly waiting for the second half line to come out. I might have gotten suckered on that one. Milwaukee I did not take. I was waiting for the second half, but I did take the under in that Milwaukee-Pittsburgh game, and it might be the second half under that I should take even more. A lot of sucker. Jimmy the Bag. I'm thinking this is looking like a sucker lines card today, Jim. You think so? What do you think?
I guess I'll hold off on this Royals Rangers spot, but Kennedy seems more appealing to me than Bartolo Colon.
Yes. Let's see. Melvin Morrell says Texas wins tonight. Andrew Curran says rushed my workout to make it here. Chesticles are on swole. Nice, but more pumped to hang out with the Bang on Low Bag. Andrew Curran, are you natty or are you on the gear? Let us know. I'd be very curious. I feel like Andrew Curran is probably natty, but always thinking about maybe hitting up a little trembolone here and there, synthol here and there to pump things up just a little bit. I bet you he's natty though.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying, Jim?
I do know what you're saying.
Man, I'm procrastinating as hell here. Like hell here. Paco Healy says, love Big Sexy tonight. Jay Sandercock says, fade Royals. Not applicable says, lean Texas. Tom Marino says, I don't like Kennedy off his best start of the year. He's been solid the last couple starts, so that's what I was just going to say before I read your last segment of that comment. He actually has had, it's not just his last start. His last start was great, but he's had 3 out of his last 4 starts have been pretty decent.
I like Kennedy pitching at home back-to-back. I feel like he can get into a rhythm here. I find when these veterans get a chance to have back-to-back starts at home, that second start is generally as good as his first.
I was thinking about, here's what I was thinking about. Full game under, second half under, first half over, KC on the money line and the first 5-inning team total overs, and Texas on the second half. KC has been the worst second half team, both home and road this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, I might be getting suckered in here. All right, you know what? I will, but Texas is off of that big high-scoring game, aren't they? That big, huge, high-scoring game. All right, I'm going to take... Man, this is a tough game.
It is.
A lot of sucker situations on this card. All right, I'm going to think about what I want to do here. What else do you want to get to, Jim?
Well, I want to get to the Coors Field fade. It was funny, people tweeting at Nostra and I saying, how could you take the Mets? They can't hit lefties. And I guess still after, 80 games, they don't understand the Coors Field fade is the dog. It's not just the road team. Rockies are the dog here, and understandably so. Game time temp 78 Fahrenheit, wind blowing in. Thunderstorms predicted for the second half of the game. If that thunderstorm comes early, knocks DeGrom out, this Coors Field fade becomes way, way more appealing. Mets have won 2 straight, so clearly there's a better vibe in this Mets clubhouse than there is in this Rockies clubhouse. The Rockies seem to be slipping. They're playing bad baseball, lost 12 of 16. Wade Davis gave up 4 runs in the 9th inning. He's not looking good. Their bullpen has a 5.49 ERA, highest in the NL. I expect Ottavino to take over that spot if Wilson can't hold it down. Rockies have lost 7 straight games at Coors Field. Come on. Mets are getting better. Are they getting better? I don't know. Nemo is a good player, but they have the worst offensive numbers versus lefties, 203 with a 584 OPS. In his last start Wednesday, DeGrom gave up 1 run in 7 innings. I mean, he's just incredible. Lowest ERA in the majors, 2 or fewer earned runs in 10 straight, 0.87 ERA over those 10 games. He just looks very, very good. 3-0 with a 0.99 ERA and 5 starts against the Rockies, but 4.26 ERA at Coors Field. Anderson, 7-7 the Rockies are in his starts. 1-1 with a 5.14 ERA and 5 starts at Coors Field. So he's looked much better on the road, which wasn't his MO, right? He was always a guy who pitched well at Coors Field. So that has changed. Anderson's thrown 7 innings each of his past 2 starts. You know, that's moving in the right direction. He's only had 1 start against the Mets, and he looked good. Let's see what everybody has to say here.
All right, well, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to be a buyer on DeGrom. I'm going to take the Colorado first 5 innings team total under 2.5 minus 135. That's both at Pinnacle and Heritage. And Anderson, stacking some good starts together. He'll probably get hit, but I'm not sure that the Mets are going to be able to do that reliably here. So I'm going to take a shot with the first 5 innings under 5 minus 110. 5 minus 110. That's the current line at Intertops and UWager and BetMania and Bookmaker. 5 minus 110. Could take 5.5 minus 143 at Pinnacle. but I don't want to do that because there's high volatility at Coors usually. So I'm going to take the less favorite line here. Under 5 minus 110, and the first 5 innings team total under for Colorado 2.5 minus 135. These might be 2 more sucker lines I'm betting into, Jim. Mally Mal might be dead on here.
I'm not overthinking this play, and not overthinking the Coors Field fade has made me money because there's been situations where it just didn't look appealing, and this is another one, and I am not going to overthink it.
And we've talked about that from the beginning of this show, that some of the best ways to handicap a season is to just identify a play that you think is going to win blindly, and if you're right, just bet it blindly and don't worry about any individual game because you can always overthink yourself in any individual game, and when you do that, you protect yourself against cognitive biases from having lost 2 plays in a row or recency biases and all that stuff. Some of the best ways, I'm telling you, some of the best ways to bet sports is to identify a year-long play that you think is going to be good and just blindly bet it. And we've seen that this year with the Colorado fade, right?
And for the last month, every single Coors Field fade situation, I've had somebody who's a skilled capper tweeted me saying, this is a bad spot, don't do it, blah, blah, fucking blah.
Right.
And it hasn't, and the Coors Field fade continues to succeed. It continues to succeed. And so I'm not going to get in the way of it right now. Quick shout out to Teddy B. If it holds 3-0, he gets plus 650. He called 3-0. So,
and this is not the first time Teddy B has given out a bunch of awesome calls going all the way back to the NBA season. I can't even remember when this shit started, but we've shouted out Teddy B for some awesome calls more than a few times in this show, right?
Oh, yeah, I know. Soccer is where he's really hitting hard right now. It's very impressive stuff.
Teddy, motherfucking B.
That's right.
Wow. Oh, man.
Well, I'm going to pull out this Rockies run line, and I'm going to lock it in.
Let's eat. Teddy. Motherfucking B. You're impressing the hell out of us, isn't he? Man. All right, so you're going to take I'm losing my mind a little bit here, Jim. What do you want here? The Coors Field fade. You want Colorado here?
I do.
Wow. Okay. Again, yes, you're right. I understand why you would blindly be betting this, but this one feels like I don't want to fade DeGrom here, but you will get plus 230. Okay, so Colorado plus run line plus 230 at Bet365 right now.
Yes, I will.
All right. Let's keep a brisk pace. We do want to get to the soccer game coming up today. We got to get to Miami, San Francisco, Arizona Angels. What else do we not get to? St. Louis, Philly. Let's talk about that one very quickly. Mikolas, is he going to continue? Is Pivetta going to bounce back? My leans on this one would be to the under, and my leans would have to be for Mikolas having another great start and maybe Philly on the second half. I think they have a big bullpen edge here. What's your take on this game, Jim?
Pivetta, he looks so good, and this is a kid, from my home province I cheer for very much, and it's just he's falling back to earth quickly.
Yes.
Philly's looking for their 3rd series victory in a row, returning home. Cards have won 5 of 7. Mikolas is 7-2, 2.43 ERA, 0.96 WHIP. He looks very good. Cards are 9-4 in his starts, but they lost in his last outing. He gave up 3 runs in 6 hits. It was an impressive performance. He allowed the 3 runs in the second inning, and he didn't let it bother him. He still went 6, still had a quality start. I was impressed, even though he got touched. Pivetta 4-6, 4.25 ERA, 1.24 WHIP. His WHIP is still low, but they're hitting him hard. 8.36 ERA, and opponents are hitting 352 with a 940 OPS in 3 June starts. Just not good enough. Not good enough. So I'm uncomfortable with Pivetta. I can understand Mikolas is the play, but I don't want to have my whole card with these road faves.
My thoughts on this one were slightly into the under, slightly into the second half under, slightly into Philly on the second half at plus 100, and slightly into the St. Louis first 5 innings team total over. Although I feel like this might be a good bounce back spot for Pivetta. Let's see what all the people have to say about this one.
Noah says the Phillies have awoken.
Yeah.
Kobe Valentine's on the Phillies run line. Tomor says no one has hit Mikolas the first time they've seen him. Pivetta struggled last 3 starts. I'd lean St. Louis, but Pivetta has been good at home.
Yeah, I was thinking about a shot with the under here, thinking about a shot with the second half under, thinking about the shot with Philly on the second half. Anthony L., I'm on the Phillies. Searcy's on the Phillies. Chance Briggs is on the Cards run line. And Luchase Fox says Cards equals frauds. Phillies equals garbage. Frauds beat garbage on my scale. Interesting. Yes, I think in life that is true. That is true. Scam artists beat morons once in a while, more often than not. Yes. Phillies are Tom Marino says Phillies are garbage, but Mikolas hasn't been great against lefties. Should be decent matchup for them. Okay, let's move on, Jim. What else? We're gonna get back to all this at 6 o'clock, so we can make some final decisions at 6 o'clock. Justin Searcy says Phillies home record must not be ignored. Reggie says I'll just settle with Cards. Phillies under. That was my lean as well, Reggie. Okay, go ahead, Jim.
Maeda, Chatwood,
Yeah.
Dodgers, Cubs, game time temp 87 Fahrenheit, chance of thunderstorms, wind blowing out over right field. Cubs have won 6 of 10, Dodgers have won 7 of 10. Dodgers are hitting the ball hard right now. Average 7.15 runs per game, hit a major league best 34 home runs in the first 13 games of June. Maeda has fine numbers this year, but I had Texas on the first 5 and it ended up being a 2-2 tie in his last start at a big dog line, and Maeda did not look good. He looked so hittable. Now it was his first start back after returning from a hip injury. Still has fine numbers on the year. 3.61 ERA, 1.31 whip, but I don't trust him. 76 pitches. They pulled him early. He allowed 2 runs on 5 hits and 5 innings. And if he had to come out in the 6th inning, he was going to get touched. You could just tell that they were on to his stuff. Chatwood still 58 walks. 58 walks and 63 in the third. That's ridiculous. 1.75 whip. ERA still okay at 4.12. Seeking his first win since May 11th. Allowed 4 runs in 5 innings against the Brew Crew last out. 5-9 with a 4.07 ERA and 15 career starts against the Dodgers. This is a tough spot. This Maeda versus Chatwood and the Pivetta matchup, I did not feel very comfortable with either side here.
I mean, Chatwood does get a lot of grounders though when he's on his game, and he winds up not getting burned nearly as much as most other pitchers would get if they had those walk numbers.
My man Kingu about business says Cubs get to Maeda. That's kind of where I was leaning. Not applicable as Cubs. King Rail says fade the Dodgers tonight. I'm telling you, I watched that game closely. I really wanted that Rangers first 5 at the plus line, and in Maeda, I was just like, oh, they're going to get to him. Oh, they're going to get to him. I knew they were going to get to him, and I might jump on the Cubs here. Kobe Valentine though says -1.5. My man Carlos Peroge says Chatwood is fraud and garbage.
Yeah, there's also rain expected, so the game might not even go off. And the Dodgers on the first 5 innings team total over at just 2 is just so tempting. All right, I'm going to have to take that. I can't ignore that. I'm going to take that one. LA Dodgers, first 5 innings, team total over 2 -119. That's the current line at Pinnacle. I might be getting suckered in again here. But all right, I'm going to take the Dodgers, first 5 innings, team total over 2 -119. We'll see how this all shakes out. It might not be the greatest day. There's a lot of controversial. I mean, every line in baseball, at some point, if you think about it enough, seems like it might be a sucker play, right, Jim?
Yeah, well, I don't. This card does seem tricky.
Look at this. It does seem tricky, right? Pavetta's gotten shelled recently, so is he a fade? No. There's some people and a big line move in favor of Philly. They opened as a +108 dog. Now they're a -108 favorite at Pinnacle, and Triple Beams 3 says Pavetta will be fine. Good price on him.
Wow, and Kobe giving an interesting stat. Dodgers 7-0 in their last 7 during the first game of a series.
Yeah.
Mr. Gokster likes both team totals over here in the Cubs, Dodgers, and Justin Paul says the same thing. Says Maeda will get hit over 8.5.
Yeah. All right, let's move on, Jimmy the Bag. What else do we want to get to? Arizona Angels, we got to get to that, right? Berea has been good and even better at home. I was thinking about a shot with the under here. I was thinking about a shot with Arizona on the second half. What's your take on this game, Jim?
Greinke is a guy I've been watching very closely, and I'm very uncomfortable with the way he looks. Game time 68 Fahrenheit, wind blowing out straight away center, but not too strong. Angels have lost 5 of their past 6, dealing with injury problems, and their offense is not around. Andrelton Simmons is back. That will help both offense and defense. Diamondbacks dropped their past 2 after winning 6 of 7. They did not look good in losing these last 2 games to the Mets. Let's see. Nasty Nate says parlay White Sox and Rays. That's some crazy talk, but it's exciting. What line will we get for that, Nasty Nate? I'd be curious. Greinke 5-5, 3.87 ERA, 1.15 WHIP. Still has a fine WHIP, but he just doesn't look strong right now. 3-5 with a 3.91 ERA, 12 career appearances against the Angels. As you said, Berea seems like maybe he's their Angels' best pitcher right now.
Yeah, he's been doing fine.
5-2, 2 points. I mean, the healthy, I should say. With Ohtani, looks pretty dangerous, except with the blister problems. I think that's part of the reason why. Well, we can get into Ohtani different time. 5 innings against the Mariners. Berea allowed 3 runs, 2 earned, 8 hits, 6-3 loss. It was the most susceptible that he's looked. He's allowed more than 2 runs in just 1 of his 8 starts. Diamondbacks are hitting 227, 705 OPS, and the Angels' offensive numbers keep dropping. Now 247 with a 741 OPS. I don't know what to do with this game.
Well, I'm going to make 2 second half plays here. I am going to take Arizona on the second half minus 125, and I'm going to take the under 3.5 minus 135. Those are 2 official plays for sure. And I did bet the under 8 on the overnight line. It actually opened at 8.5. I missed that, but I did get the 8, and now it's down to 7.5, juiced to the under. So a strong market move towards the under here. I'm glad on my bet I got 8 because that's a big difference, 8 and 7.5. Now it's 7.5. So clearly the market expects Greinke to be fine. What do you think?
Is this a bounce? I don't know. I've been watching him really closely, and he just doesn't look dominant. And so often in his career, he's looked dominant. He seems like every inning could be a big inning against him, and you know what? I'm going to spend more time on this game and more time on Greinke.
Okay. Sean Thompson says, I like Barria. Real talk. Tomarino Tomor says, Barria has been a different pitcher at home since his first start. I think he rolls here. He dominates lefties. I would agree. I'm still leaning under, even at 7.5. Justin Paul says, people must think Greinke will rebound due to that movement to the under. Yes, a strong move to the under. I'm glad I got 8. Missed 8.5. Now it's 7.5. That is a pretty, Sean Thompson says, Sharps liking the under on Arizona and the Angels.
Anthony L's on the over, and he is one of the sharpest guys that we have in this chat. So
he's over on that game.
Yeah, he's on D-backs Angels.
Anthony L says, Barria due for regression. Yes, he's got to be. He can't be that good. Greinke's been bad on the road. I like the offenses here at over 7.5. Kobe says, the Cubs offense continues to lay an egg every other game, it feels like, and they're on a quick turnaround after playing late Sunday night in St. Louis. Any other comments, Jim?
I find this a very difficult game. Kobe Valentine says take the under in this matchup. Under cashed in 6 of the last 7 games between these two teams. 4 of the last 5 played in LA. Greinke's ERA is less than 4. Barrios just 2.61, which should make for a low-scoring game. Dom Ricci agrees with the under.
So Kobe Valentine, Dom Ricci, and the market liking the under at least at 8 or 8.5. Anthony L not liking it. Anthony L with his comment, just so it's clear, D-backs Angels over 7.5. Wow.
Blue Chase Fox saying Barry is the real deal.
Not applicable, says I would say an over game. All right, so...
No, Kesey likes D-backs and the over. D-backs reverse money line. Mally Mouse says, seems like it's time for an over. Interesting.
Yeah, all right. I'm going to take, Justin Paul says you needed 8.5 or 8. Can't bet that under at 7.5. Yeah, I was thinking about tweeting some of this shit out, and I probably should have. All right, let's see. What else do we want to get to here, Jim?
Marlins, Giants, Caleb Smith versus Andrew Suarez. There's a rumor that Smith, he's been away from the team, so it's not 100% that he starts here. But he's expected to. Game time, 1060 Fahrenheit. Winds blowing out strong over left center. The wind blowing out strong in San Francisco doesn't seem to equal offense. Giants have won 7 of 8 at home. Now they played Sunday without Evan Longoria, who broke his hand. Now Brandon Crawford is out for this series, expecting his 4th child. So they're thinking of moving the Panda over to shortstop, which is just... You know what? If the Giants didn't have these issues, I'd be all over them today with what's going on with Caleb Smith. It's tough to be away from your team, for a few days and lose your routine. These left-handers went up against each other in a 5-4 Marlins win. Smith allowed 3 runs, 8 hits, and 6 in the third. It was the first time he'd faced San Francisco, and then he's now left for personal reasons on the bereavement list. So he's expected to be back. He struggled on the road. He's been bad on the road. 5.68 ERA. Never pitched in San Francisco. Suarez looked good in that start. Now, we knew that there was a thought that maybe he would because of his ties to the Miami area. It was a big start for him. Will this be a letdown start? Marlins, 234, 662 OPS versus lefties. Giants are 253, 726 OPS versus lefties. Again, I was not sure... what move to make.
All right, I'm going to add 2 plays on this one. I am going to take Miami +1. I'm expecting a low volatility game. I did bet the under on this game at 7.5 on the overnight line. I knew that line would go down, and now it's down to 7. That was one of the plays I was going to tweet out. I will definitely add the second half under 3.5 minus 140 as well. Thinking about giving the full game under at 7 anyway, but I definitely bet it at 7.5. So, and I've also made another decision, Jim. In the Pittsburgh-Milwaukee game, I also bet the under on that one, and I am going to take under 9 minus 115 at Bookmaker. I know that there are questions for this game with both Chassin and Williams, but I think given the spot and Milwaukee's pen, I'm going to take a shot with the under 9 at minus 115 at Bookmaker. So those are 3 plays that I'm adding here. Pittsburgh under 9 minus 115. The San Francisco game second half under 3.5 minus 140, and I'm also going to take Miami plus 1. That'll be the best money line here, plus 146 at the Greek, plus 146 at the Greek, and the best plus 1.5 run line for Miami will be 155 at UWager, 155 at UWager. So that is almost even money for Miami plus 1. UWager has the best plus 1.5 line at minus 155. And again, if you'd like to sign up for UWager, why don't you use the link in the description box below this video? And if you have no clue whether you'd like to sign up with UWager or not, which is totally understandable, go to sportsbookreview.com and read about UWager and all the other sportsbooks in existence right now. All right, so once again, I've added Pittsburgh under 9 minus 115, San Francisco second half under 3.5 minus 140, and Miami plus 1 at almost even money. And I did bet the full game under 7.5 on this one, and now it is down to 7.
Wow.
Yeah. All right, so Jim, shall we, is there any other game we didn't get to?
No, we got to all the games, and the one just, I followed through with the plays I wanted to make after talking them out. The only one I didn't follow through with is the Royals and Ian Kennedy, and
yeah.
I guess I'm going to need a little more time there.
Wow, Sean Thompson took the Pirates game over 8.5. Okay, we'll see. Obviously, these two teams, Pittsburgh's been an overtrender at home, I believe, on the year, and these two starting pitchers do come with some question marks, but I did take the under 9 on that one. All right, let me just review all the picks that we've given, then I'll review all my leans, which of course historically have been quite good in all sports, and then we'll get to soccer. We'll first get to the England game and then to some other games that you want to get to, and of course, a lot of fun in now I'm looking forward to it every Monday and Thursday, right, Jim?
I love it.
Natalie's a fucking fun, cool chick, isn't she?
Yeah, man.
She's funny and fun.
And Alex
is awesome.
They're a great combination, the two of them, and it's great.
You know what I mean? Because a lot of these guys, when they're sharp at something, you're like, oh, this guy can't laugh at himself. This guy, no, Alex is super fun.
Yeah, man.
Super fun. Love those guys. All right, so these are the picks that Jimmy the Bag has given. Yankees minus 120, White Sox plus 244, Tampa Bay plus 250, Colorado run line plus 230, and Milwaukee minus 120. That's it, right, Jim?
That's it.
Yeah, all right. Now, I've given a lot of picks, and I have a lot more leans. I will go over them right now very quickly. Cleveland, first half under 5 minus 148. Pittsburgh, under 9 minus 115. Yankees, second half minus 125. Dodgers, first half, team total over 2 minus 119. White Sox, plus 1. Miami, plus 1. San Francisco, second half under 3.5 minus 140. Colorado, first half, team total under 2.5 minus 135. And the Colorado game, first half under 5 minus 110. Milwaukee, second half money line minus 125. Arizona, second half money line minus 125. And the Arizona game, second half under 3.5 minus 135. So there's a lot of possible sucker trap plays today. I might have taken a bunch of them, and I'm thinking about taking a bunch more. We'll see how it turns out. I'll tell you right now about the leans I'm thinking about. In the St. Louis Philly game, thinking about the under at 8.5. Thinking about Philly on the second half. And that's about it. In the Yankees game, thinking about just taking the Yankees minus 1, thinking about adding that one on. In the Milwaukee-Pittsburgh game, pretty much did what I wanted to do. Cleveland and the White Sox game, I gave the first 5 innings under. I gave the White Sox along with Jim, and just thinking that I might have gotten suckered in. You know what I'm saying? We'll see. Dodgers and the Cubs. I already gave the Dodgers on the first 5 innings team total over. We'll stick with that. Tampa Bay, Houston, no overnight line, so I didn't look at it. Texas, KC, an interesting game. The plays I was thinking about were KC on the money line. Obviously, the market has moved against that. Texas on the second half, the full game under, and the second half under on this one, and maybe a shot with the first 5 overs, but I'll make those decisions later on. It's definitely an interesting handicapping situation. Mets, Colorado, the only play I'm thinking about adding on is the full game under at 9.5, although I gave 2 first 5 unders as well. Arizona and the Angels, I gave Arizona, and I gave the on the second half, and I gave the second half under as well. Thinking about maybe throwing on the under at 7.5, although Anthony L likes the over on that one, and Justin Paul says if you wanted to take that one, you had to grab the under at 8 or 8.5. Don't do it at 7.5. And then Miami, San Francisco, I gave second half under and Miami plus 1. Only other play I would be thinking about would be maybe giving the full game under at 7, but I'll probably pass on that one. And at 6 o'clock Eastern time, we will review all the line moves All the line moves are something, and if a game feels like either a no-brainer or a trap, the line moves can be very illuminating, right?
Absolutely.
I'll tell you right now, Jim, that line move in that Philly game is very, very illuminating. Pivetta, we know he's not looked good recently. Mikolas obviously has been awesome all year long, and yet Philly opened at plus 108. Now they're a minus 108 favorite. Look at that.
Yeah, it says a lot. It says a lot. Also, wanted to mention David H. has joined us in the chat. For you guys hammering WNBA, he's a real sharp WNBA mind, and I follow him on Twitter. And so King Rail, Malima, all you guys who are hammering WNBA so hard, include David H.
And Peter Loshak.
I just mean these guys on Twitter that work together. But yes, and Peter Loshak.
On Twitter this weekend. Yeah. 5-0-2. Thank you very much.
Beautiful work. Yeah. But connect with David H. He's the real deal.
Absolutely. But there's no WNBA tonight, though.
No, Tuesday.
Right. Okay. David H. says, Loshak, Philly is hot and humid, fly balls out. Yes, I know. I did not give the under yet. That's just what I'm thinking about. All right. You want to get to some quick comments before we get to World Cup? Because we do want to keep a brisk pace here. Let's see. Tom Marino says, I can't back Casey even when they hit. I'd rather just take the over. Pitching is so bad. Kennedy had a couple good starts, but still bad in my opinion. But we've seen what happens with these KC totals of 9.5 and 10 that look with bad starting pitchers. It's just the offenses just aren't there to get the games over. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Minus 110. Nostratota says Pavetta's a stud, Pete. Yes. Let's see. Justin Paul says Philly's offense looked good yesterday, coming home with confidence. Man, Philly might be a great play today, and we can add it in the 6 o'clock show if we want. Let's see. Just quickly, some other comments. All right, we don't have time for some comments because right now we're going to get to World Cup. Jimmy the Bag, the England game starts in about an hour. And in the beginning of the show, people were suggesting that they liked overs in this one, right? What do you think?
Sorry, just I'm surprised I don't follow Mali Mal. That's shocking to me. Mm-hmm. What's your Twitter, Mali Mal? I'll do it right as soon as after the game. Shocking. That's a mistake. Sorry, what was your? What are we going to World Cup?
Yeah, World Cup. A lot of people in the beginning of the show were saying they were liking over, but here we go. Teddy B. Now suddenly Teddy B is like a friggin' top 5 contender for the throne of a person we pay attention to the most. Champion, of course, is Native Queen, right? And sure. She might be like Don Magic Juan. You know, Don Magic Juan won Pimp of the Year 13 years in a row.
Wow,
You know what I'm saying?
I didn't know that.
That's what Native Queen seems like. She just can't be dethroned. But Teddy B is definitely now on the short list of contenders, and he says really leaning to England under 2.5. I was thinking that way as well, Jim, and I'll tell you what, this might have been wrong, but I bet first half under 1, and I bet full game under 2.5, and I bet Tunisia plus 1.5. I might have made big mistakes there, but
I don't know if you did. I was very concerned here about how England was going to start off this tournament. And by the way, I'm 2-0 on my official picks that I tweeted out and tagged.
Really? For today?
For today.
Very, very nice.
With the plus 125 dog on one line.
What? Nice, Jim.
Tunisia is a team without stars, but they have several excellent midfielders. Balance, discipline, energy. They are tenacious defending the back line. So I was leaning under as well, especially with all the pressure that's on. Oh, sorry. Let me just quickly grab Mally Mal's Twitter handle. God damn it. All right, got it. I'll grab that after the game. Tunisia scored just 11 goals in qualifying, and we know how much pressure is on England in these tournaments. I tend to agree that, and Teddy B's on the under, right?
Yes.
The loss of Tunisia's top scorer is huge. Mm-hmm. I mean, here's a team that only scores 11 goals in qualifying. Then they lose their top scorer. It's just difficult. Mm-hmm. There aren't many tougher opening matches than England and Belgium. I mean, Tunisia's against it. Now, England looked really good in qualifying and scored 18 goals, allowed 3. Henry Kane this is the tournament for him to step up and be the monster that he's capable of being. Obviously, England has all the tools, young, fast, and they move towards youth instead of the old guys that were bringing this team down over the last few years. And, they're going to dominate possession in this game. So I just feel like there's pressure on this team, and Tunisia's only chance is to completely defend that back line. Henry Kane may be the deadliest finisher England has since in a major tournament since Michael Owen in 2002. I don't know what this is. I had plays on the first two that I knew I was going to make. What is the line we'd get on the under 2.5 here?
Well, it's interesting because the market does appear to be some pressure towards the over. Right now, the 2.5 under is minus 138. When I bet it, it was minus 150. So I got a bad line on that one. On the other hand, there are people suggesting that they're agreeing with that one. Let me see. Where the hell is it? Kyle Jack says a halftime draw and taking a shot at halftime. Correct score 0-0. Okay. Sean Thompson says England might go off. Not applicable says draw, or tie. LOL. Wait. Okay. I don't know if that is pick. Let's see. Yeah.
Very interesting. Very interesting. Not applicable like in the draw. And Tomor says Tunisia's best player was their best player by far. Sean Thompson says England might go off, but
so is Tunisia just going to fold with this guy out now?
No, they're just they were a defensive team with this guy, so they're just going to focus more on defense. You know, they're just going to defend the back line even more.
Teddy B says I think England 1-0 or 2-0 at best. Kevy K also says I lean under.
Yeah.
Ken Peacock says, remember, the whole of England is betting this match. And we saw what just one city in England can do for a line with the friggin' Darren Till against Wonderboy Thompson lines. I mean, they love to bet in England, and when they do, they only bet on England. And I mean, you know, is that sharp money? I don't know, but if an entire country bets on a side, the line's gonna move a little bit. You know what I'm saying, Jim?
Yeah. I mean, but there's no. I mean, I'm not going to make a move here on Tunisia. I don't know if they are capable of scoring. I mean, you look at how many goals they scored before, and then even with I don't have his name in front of me. Full-time result. I mean, Tunisia plus 850. Tunisia or a draw plus 180.
A lot of people liking England to win. England to win to nil at plus 105. Isaiah says England to win to nil at plus 105. That might be a great bet there.
That might be a great bet. I feel like I want to see England before.
Wow, look at this. Kyle Jack says halftime draw, full-time England parlay at plus 320. So if England wins and it's 0-0 at the half, if Tunisia somehow gets a goal in the first half and then England ties it up and then they pull out, there you go. Kyle Jack, halftime draw, full-time England parlay has a lot of value at plus 320. Teddy B says Tunisia's going to play for a draw from what I've seen. I think 1 point is what they're playing for.
Wow, under 2.5, Bet365 is minus 150.
Yeah, really, under 2.5, Bet365 is minus 150. Okay, at Heritage it's minus 138. I bet it at minus 150, and it's moved the other direction. At Pinnacle, it's minus 140.
Wow. Starting the day 2-0 makes me hesitant to make a play that I wasn't planning on making.
Okay. I mean, you don't have to make any play, Jim.
I know. I'm just, speaking my thoughts.
Yeah.
At this point, I'm not going to make a move. Ultra Crispy says England dominate. Abdul Baki says Tunisia plus 1.5 goals. What's that line?
Plus 1.5. Well, that's what I bet.
And what do you get?
And I got a bad line. I got minus 176. Now at Heritage, it's down to minus 160. So I made two bets on this game, and the markets moved against me. I took the under 2.5 at minus 150. It's now 138 at Heritage, and I took plus 1.5 minus 176. It's now 160 at Heritage. So I made two bets on this game. I might be under. I agree that England is a team that's probably going to have value in the World Cup because of their makeup. You know, not so much hype, not so many stars and young guys. But my sense is just that Tunisia's, even with their star guy out, is going to be able to keep it relatively close, relatively low scoring. Some people are agreeing with me in the comments section. Other people absolutely not, saying England rolls.
Yeah, by direct saying England 2-0. Underdog saying under 2.25 at bookmakers minus 111. Cody AV making a correct score. Noster giving me just sage advice saying don't force anything. I'm gonna leave this game alone. I want to watch England play. You know what? If it wasn't so juiced to the under, I would take the under. But I can't let a loss completely screw me. Abdul Baki says Tunisia will not score. Go for both teams to score. No, maybe that's a nice spot. Both teams to score. No. Where's that? Let me.
Both teams are scoring no. You know what? I'm going to do? I will take a shot with this one. I will take a shot with my two plays that I gave. You know, I've given I'm not doing well so far in World Cup, but that was just because the one game was that Uruguay game where I had the over and Uruguay -1 and it pushed, and a lot of people who watched that game said that the bets that I made were good and that they just the breaks didn't go my way. But I will take shots with these. I'm going to take the England game under. I'm going to take it under 2.5, and right now at Pinnacle that is a -141. 2.5 -141, and I will take a shot with Tunisia +1.5 at +1 at -160. Tunisia +1.5 -160. I'm going to take a shot with it. I'm going to take a shot with Tunisia stepping up here, not getting a win, but coming to play and making it competitive. You know what I'm saying?
I hear that. Lamia Syed says England are overrated, terrible for the last 2 years. This is their worst team.
Yeah, they don't have the star power. But
Harry Kane,
right?
I mean,
not relative to past years, you know.
Yeah, I mean, but those stars they had were smoke and mirror shows that were letting down their country.
Right, Beckham. Let's see. All right, so I'm gonna take the under 2.5 at -141 and Tunisia +1.5 goals at -160. Those are the bets that I made. The markets moved against me. We'll see how it turns out. Ozezi Oakwood Bribiri says England 2-1. Tunisia will score. England's defense is their weak point.
Yeah, he might have a point there.
John Thompson says England has a lot to prove. They have pride. Okay.
They have a lot to prove. No question. There's a lot of pressure on them.
Nothing wrong with being from England. We're proud. Right? They're fucking proud guys, right? Fuck off.
Ken Peacock says this is their best team.
1-0, 2-0, whatever. Fuck off. England. What do you have with pride? You know what I got pride. We all got pride. Gay people got pride. Everyone's proud. I'm proud of my record in NBA. I mean, in WNBA and in MLB. All right, Jim, we do have to wrap this up at some point.
I'm staying off. I'm 2-0 on the day. I'm going to take the victory and feel good about myself.
Teddy B says, right. Teddy B likes the under. That's, motherfucker knows soccer.
You know, if it wasn't juiced so much, I would take it. But I'm just, got off to a nice start.
Yeah.
Leave it there.
All right. There's other World Cup games that I'm also liking as well, but we can wait until the afternoon show. We'll get some. Okay. That wraps it up for the show today. Once again, we will be back at 6 o'clock Eastern time where we'll review all the MLB games. Team Bankroll will be sitting here with us and we'll cover the games for tomorrow and maybe Wednesday. I don't know how deep in the week.
We're doing the whole, all of Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday.
All right. That's going to be fun as hell. That's going to be 6 o'clock. We're going to have Alex. We're going to have Natalie. We're going to have Jimmy the Bag. And of course, I'll be here myself. We're going to have Larry, right?
Lucrative Larry.
All right. Did he win his last play?
He did not.
Okay.
Little Bap Larry. Got to go back to Korea, that guy.
Okay. We'll be at 6 o'clock Eastern time. Thanks so much, everyone.